Greetings and salutations, one and all. Welcome to another exciting week of Siege of Middenheim, the climactic finish to the Act 2 campaign of Siege of the Empire. I'm glad you all could be here today for another wonderful episode. I'm really excited to get started. For those of you that are watching live, we've been off the air for a couple of weeks due to some personal things going on. And for those of you who are watching on YouTube, hello. Enjoy. As I hope everybody enjoys. It looks like we are still running a little bit short on a couple of players here, which is fine. They should trickle in by the time we're done with introductions and what everybody's been doing. Gonna be a pretty, I think, chaotic session. We have some multifaceted battles on different areas, including some individual battles and also some other things. And what in the hell happened? Sorry, that was really annoying. Let's go ahead and tune in and see what everybody's been up to. Don't worry,
Hello.
Brian. Hello? Hold on. Nope, don't worry, Brian. I fixed it.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
You broke it tremendously, Brian, and I fixed it for you.
Oh yay! What did I do?
Did you not notice? Did you not notice when you added that health in there that you only added 1-9, so then it made a red bar across the entire screen? Because technically you had 99 out of 9 health.
You should have seen when I added an 18 next to the 16 in Constitution, and it made it to have like plus 8,000.
Good.
That was great.
Good.
That
That's
was
fantastic.
really cool.
So glad everybody could be here today. I'm assuming Liam will eventually show, but we'll start at the top. Dalton, hello.
Hi.
Tell us all about your 2 weeks.
Sorry, quick question. Are we telling them right now what we got for our level ups?
No, we're just doing hellos, and then we'll get into that.
Okay.
So, well, it's been interesting. Some life things have come up, so I got that going for me.
I know the feels.
Wait, what?
I said I know the feels.
Yeah, and so it's gonna be fun. Not really, but gonna deal with it. And other than that, been just playing games and trying to not overstress and things of that sort.
Well, don't worry, I'm gonna let you kill some things. Feel better,
Dude. I'm not gonna lie. I really hope so. I need to kill some things.
Definitely will be plenty of things to kill.
If I really have to, Jordan, Hannibal's gonna kick the bucket.
You know,
Like, try, bitch.
I'm
can't
not.
stop me
I
now.
wouldn't
Nothing
even.
can.
I wouldn't even be upset.
Marilla, I will put you in the fucking ground.
You can try. But anyways,
That's
that's
fantastic.
been what's up with me.
Jackson, tell me what's been going on with you, buddy.
Going to India.
Yeah, tell us about that. How did that come about?
So, yeah, so now it looks like, going to be in India for a couple months. I'm going to a place called Buhaneswara in Odisha.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not sure about the names myself either, but it's. I'm going to be staying in a resort at the time, so that's not all.
Oh,
Seems
well,
like it'll be
that-
interesting.
I mean, at least the resort should be nice, and if worst case scenario, you just stay in the resort all the time.
Yeah, so that's going to be a fun thing.
That's nice.
Also been promised a job for after.
Good.
So,
Sounds like
happy with that.
Your trajectory is in the upright and locked position to make up
Yep.
flying on a plane for 13 hours or however long it's going to take you.
25 hours.
Okay. 25
Jesus
hours.
Christ.
Good. Is that including the time change though, or is that physical time on the plane?
As physical time.
It's pretty rough, man.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Bring your
Well-
Switch and a charger.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm hoping that they'll let me stay in a sleeper cabin, but I don't think that they're going to care enough. But,
Hopefully.
happy about it. Yeah, go me. I'm going, overseas. First time.
Make sure you get your passport squared away.
Don't tell me what to do, Jordan.
I mean, I'm just trying to help you
It's
out.
fairly important to have a passport.
And then also make sure you don't lose that shit when you get over there, because it's a pain in the ass if you're outside the country to get a passport.
Oh God, tell me about it.
Dude, it's the
Sounds like
worst.
someone has a story.
It's the worst thing ever.
Yeah, so super happy about that, and I can't wait for Siege. Been meaning to run this shit.
Yeah, should be fun. Will, hello.
Hello.
Tell us all about your couple of...
You mean apart from getting berated by you for missing Sunday's game?
Well, I think you just answered your own question. I don't think I need to say anything. You missed Sunday's game, so therefore you get berated. Seems as though
What?
when speaking of
Wait. Well.
just consequences.
Don't
How?
you fucking start.
How?
Don't you fucking start.
It's one thing to miss like an hour because of sleep. It's another thing to miss a whole goddamn session.
I swear to God, I'm gonna mute the whole lot of you.
The whole one of us? Was that? Did you call us
Yeah.
a lot?
The whole lot of you, yes. That is perfectly valid English to say.
For you, perhaps.
Sure, yeah. I guess you could say that.
Listen, you're the reason everybody has radiation sickness.
What's my problem?
And also parasites, possibly.
Oh.
How am I doing this?
Well, my weeks have been okay. Pretty chill for the most part. I've binge watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which was fun.
Shit, I've been meaning to get
It's a
into
good
that.
show.
Yeah, very good show. But now I'm in that state where you finish binge watching and now you've got to wait for the weekly updates, which is painful.
That's awful.
How did you binge watch it?
By watching an episode and
No,
then
what I mean is,
another
is it on
episode after
Netflix?
that.
I mean, is it on Netflix?
Thanks, Will. Appreciate you explaining the intricate details of binge watching
Yeah.
TV shows. That's why we keep you around, so you can enlighten us with those things.
I mean, somebody's got to. I mean,
It's true. Certainly isn't going to be me.
but yeah, my week's been good.
Brian, hello.
Hi.
How have you been?
I've been pretty good. Spent all morning helping with a garage sale. And aside from that, I've wasted away my life ever since I finished downloading Shadow of Mordor. Or Shadow of War.
Yeah.
So, yeah. My Pokemon game is fun.
Dude, 96 gigabytes is fucking huge.
Are you finished yet, or like?
Yeah, no, it finished before I even woke up.
Wait, holy shit! How big's that game?
It's 96
It's
gigs.
96. Well,
Fuck!
no. The actual game is 106. The ISO is 96. Totally different. It's huge. All
I'm
those
so
high-res
excited for it.
textures.
Before I
So
even
worth it.
install it, I'm going to have to go through and delete a lot of stuff just to fit it on my computer.
Jordan, the Pokemon levels are so real in this.
I know, right? It's
And the
basically
prologue
Lord of the Rings
alone.
Pokemon.
The prologue got me just so hyped up for the rest of the game. I was just like, okay,
Yeah,
I can die
I've been,
now.
I've been watching some people play it, and I know most of the story. At least the prologue, which you would call the prologue, is Act 1, right?
No, like there's an actual like 4-minute prologue.
Oh, okay, all right. But I've seen like most of Act 1 and know kind of what's going on. So, but it's not gonna stop me from playing the game because it's one of those games. It's completely different because you'll just like see so many completely different random orcs that
You will never have the same experience.
Yeah.
Until the same orc comes back 6 times. I've had that happen
Correct,
in Act
yeah.
1 already.
the nemesis.
Fucking hate that guy.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I probably won't get a chance to do that tonight because, just by the time we get done, I gotta go to sleep and stuff and get ready for work. So
Lame.
I know.
It's only 7 o'clock when we end for me, so you know what's happening.
Must be nice. Soon I'll perhaps experience that. Anything else besides that?
I'm just super excited because I haven't had my D&D fix for a while, and I've been kind of obsessed with it for a little bit. So, really excited. Really excited.
Yep. It should be good. I have actual stuff prepared for the session, so I'm not just flying by the seat of my pants today. So that's good. Megan, hello.
Hello.
How are you? What's been going on with you?
I've been better, but not a whole lot to report. Only interesting thing I guess that has happened is I saw Blade Runner. It was pretty good. If you like that sort of thing, so I recommend it. If anybody was on the fence about seeing it, it was pretty good. So,
Thank you, Megan.
did that help you out, Brian?
It actually did.
Good. Yeah. No, it was totally worth it, and yeah, it was good.
Good to know.
From what I heard, Megan, it's not like a continuation from the original Blade Runner. It's like its own thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is kind of like its own thing. I mean,
Okay.
it's the amount of callbacks is like obviously
Yeah, I mean,
ridiculous,
obviously.
but and like, well, I don't want to spoil, but there are definitely like parallels. But
Mhm.
but it was good. Yeah, it was good.
All right. Alrighty.
Cool. Awesome. Jericho, hello.
Howdy.
/ Liam.
How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
All right. I'm helping my best friend move out of the city tomorrow, so kind of dour, but generally good. Happy to be here. Looking forward to it.
Good. Always so positive at the end of your introductions. I really like that. I really appreciate that.
Yes. What would we ever do without Liam?
I know. Today is a day that I'm glad that work kicked my ass because it went by like a snap and I didn't have time to think about anything else. So eventually it was just work and now it's D&D time and I'm pretty excited about that. So
Yeah.
pretty good. It was just there were some annoying things today at work though. Like I've never before in my entire life wanted a dumpster truck to show up more than I did today when I had to move this fucking dumpster who for some reason somebody in their infinite wisdom decided that they were going to throw away a fuckload of perfectly good sandbags inside of a dumpster.
What?
I don't know why they couldn't
Did they
just
empty them?
No, they're all full sandbags. They're in a dumpster. I don't understand why you couldn't just keep the sandbags for the next time that you need them, because it's not like sand goes bad.
Well, I mean, maybe you just haven't waited long enough.
Did you check the expiration dates?
I mean,
Hold on.
I don't know a lot about science, but I know enough to pretty reasonably assume that sand doesn't go bad. It just becomes finer sand. Like that's kind of the deal.
That's where you went wrong, Jordan. Assuming things.
Okay. So when someone can prove to me
We really need some reproducible tests going here.
It's true. We need what are those devices that you use to like enhance the effects of time on objects?
Time travel?
No, there's like a something
Liam.
like a something chamber or something that like wears down objects quicker than normal. I don't know. But again,
Like the reverse of an incubator?
yeah, kind of.
Hyperbolic time
Um,
chamber?
No, I don't know. It's something. I'm sure there's.
I'm
Maybe
sorry. That's not what it's called. It's the Room of Spirit and Time.
See, there you go. That's what I was looking. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, no, and then I just had to get this one dumpster moved. That took like 2 hours of me standing out in the hot sun sweating my ass off, just waiting
Oh,
for
that's
someone
something.
else to do work. Like, that's the worst thing about work is
Waiting
when
for
you're
other people to work.
yeah, like when I've done literally everything in my power, and then I'm just waiting for other people to figure out their own shit. It's one of the most annoying things in the world. So, needless to say, I spent like 5 hours moving in a piece of equipment that is literally larger than my apartment. But most of that time was spent sitting and waiting for somebody to come pick up a dumpster that was in the way of the thing that I needed to move. So, you know.
A good saying for this is common sense is a very rare and high priced commodity at this point in time.
Also, hilariously at work, someone wrote a note about me and put it in the suggestion box that said, why is he doing supervisor? All he cares about is himself and disrespecting other officers. We should have so-and-so, who the person that I'm like covering for, we should get so-and-so back, please. And I was like, oh, okay, that seems great. Yeah, fantastic. By the way, this is a suggestion box that, like, as a supervisor, I'm responsible for going through. So, you know, that was a nice confidence booster today.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's okay, we love you.
To be fair, I just kind of laughed at it and was like, okay, you're petty, obviously. Like, I don't have time for your pettiness. I have actual work to do. So yeah, that's basically how my day went. The weeks leading up to that were tragic, followed by long, followed by busy, followed by tragic, followed by busy, followed by work today, basically. So, you know, lots of stuff going on. But that doesn't mean that we can't rejoice in the fact that we have achieved a new tier of gameplay within the Dungeons and Dragons universe, by all of you leveling up to level 12.
Quite.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Indeed.
It's a significant power boost, I think, to most, if not all of you. So it is one thing that I hope you all worked on. You were given even a little extra time. I got a few messages. I hope I addressed everything, all the concerns that were there.
There is one that I thought of today, which I'm going to send to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
via
sorry.
Discord real quick.
I'm sorry if I missed any.
No, that was on me. I've been busy getting this India thing sorted out.
Okay, yeah, no problem. But just let me know, and we can always work it out. The first kind of, we did a pretty quick intro, so the first kind of 10, 15 minutes of this is going to be talking about what we got, because as you may remember, oh so many months ago, when we used to get levels, we do at the very beginning of the show is we talk and remind each other and ourselves what we actually gained for the levels. So in the same order in which I did introductions, why don't we start with Dalton, and you tell us what you have achieved for your double level up from 10 to 12.
Yeah. So, what I did was for Morella is that for the next 2 levels, I felt it was the most important to the character to take the next 2 levels into Paladin. And this brings me to 5th level Paladin, which gets me 2nd level spells for Paladin,
Sweet.
which is great.
can
Because
make a
obviously
horse.
I'm going to spend it for smites, because what else would I use it for? But
Making a horse.
You could also make a horse. That is the thing.
but why would I need a horse? I have Farron.
True.
There you go.
I knew it was coming too. I saw it. I saw it's en route.
Yep.
But
For level 4 though, because of the ability score improvement, I decided to take a feat, and a very unusual feat that a lot of characters don't take. One is part of a UA feat, and it is the Spearmaster feat, because I feel it is the most fitting for the character, as she has literally been using only a spear for however long I've had the spear.
Practically
Many-
the entire time.
Yes, practically the entire time I've been playing this character. I think, except for maybe 2 or 3 sessions. I could be wrong. But yes, I think this is the most fitting for the character, and I went with that. And I feel that those 2 levels and things of that sort. And of course, with going into Paladin, I chose additional spells, and I get more oath spells and things of that sort. But I decided to go also with something a little different, and with that, it takes a scene that we get with Morella, where it happens during the night of where we left off last, and we see a scene where she's not in her usual armament, her armor and her spear and shield. She's walking through a misty field, and she doesn't know why she's there, but she knows that she has to just continue walking forward. And eventually, she meets this large figure. It's hazy at first, and she gets closer and closer, and eventually this figure becomes into the form of a large spectral bear. And she looks up to the bear, and this bear looks down at her, and for a moment it just peers deep into her eyes, and then the next moment she gets a vision of sorts, a vision of horrific images and scenes of just gore, death, screaming, of many people dying and things of that sort. And when it ends, she's on her knees and pleading for it to stop, hoping that she can do something about it. And when she looks up and asks, "Can I do something about this?" the figure looks at this woman and simply says nothing, but looks over at a empty throne. And on the throne, just that's all it is, just an empty throne. And she says, "What must I give for this?" And the figure says nothing more, and just says, "If you want the power to save, you must be willing to pay the price." And so she nods and begins walking over to this throne of sorts. And there appears to be manacles on each of the armrests, that are open. And she sets herself inside and closes the manacles. And before we see the scene end, we hear the sounds and we see chains rising from the throne itself. The chains don't make that rustling chain sound, and instead, it sounds the cries of many people that have perished beforehand, that Morella has heard of during her travels and things of that sort before she wakes up. And yeah, with this scene, I've changed my oath from the oath of devotion to the oath of the crown. So, yeah.
And what does that get you? Mechanically.
Well, the oath of the, mechanically, what it does is that it changes my channel divinity, and the channel divinity has 2 things. The one is the champion challenge. It essentially forces creatures, if they fail a wisdom save within 30 feet of me, they cannot move away further than 30 feet if they fail. If they pass, they can continuously move. So it's essentially an AoE taunt, which I feel is fitting for the character, as she kind of likes getting into the middle of things. And then the next channel is Turn the Tide, which any creature of choice within 30 feet of the character regains 1d6 plus my charisma modifier and hit points if it has no more than half of its total hit points. So it is essentially a better mass healing word. So thought that was neat. It also gives oath spells, which I think I can think I listed already. Warding Bond, Zone of Truth, and Compel Duel and Command are those spells that I get for this. So that is what's new with Morella.
Cool. A little bit of additional healing is always nice, even though you have literally a dedicated healer, plus Farron who thinks he can heal.
That's just mean.
And Jericho, the original healer of the party.
It's true, and you have a doctor.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously the champion challenge is the most fitting because one, I'm a champion, so
yeah, no, I think that's pretty awesome. So
yeah.
And you said you got second level spells. What? Just give us a couple of examples of those, just so we're all aware of
like
the
some of the
capability.
second level spells.
Yeah, just like the capabilities that you can do with second level spells.
Well, one of the oath spells that I got was Warding Bond, which essentially I can bind, essentially bond with someone, and that person gets +1 to their AC, and then gains resistance. And whenever they take damage, I take that damage as well. So it essentially, gives them protection at the cost of my own HP. But I'm a high health character, so
yeah, it's good.
So I have no fear of using that spell. And then
So
Zone
now-
of Truth is just we've seen that in action already, so we know what it does. Obviously.
Sure.
So, but
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So roll your hit dice.
yeah.
Yeah, are you gonna roll or are you going to take
Obviously,
averages?
because I'm not a coward. So,
Okay. So roll, just hit. You can just actually hit the hit dice button twice, as long as it's selected on the right, because you're taking Paladin. Or is it the same? Is Paladin the same as a D10 as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can
Paladin is a D10.
just, yeah. So you can just click the hit dice button twice.
Okay, let's see. So here's the first one. Doop.
Hey, nice.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
And second one.
Eh,
A little low, but
Little low.
it makes up for it. So literally, I got average out of both of those
Yeah,
two.
there
So
you go. Okay, cool.
not bad. So that's an additional 16, which brings me to 108 HP. So I'm now in triple digits.
Nice. Congratulations.
Mhm.
Hannibal,
Mhm.
let's talk to you for a moment. What have you
So,
achieved at level 12?
With the weakening of my patron, I have felt the other power that I have grow within me. It seems to thrive when she isn't there. And I've gained 2 levels in sorcerer.
Hooray!
And what that
Nice.
means is that I have meta magic.
Yeah.
Wild Surge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
so Metamagic plus Warlock spells are super powerful.
not only that, I have the 2 that I have chosen because I get 2 options are Quickened and Subtle Spell. Also, having reached 11th level, I now fire 3 Eldritch Beam Blasts.
So,
Sweet.
And which means that if I use Quicken Spell, I can fire 6 Eldritch Beam Blasts. In addition to that, I gained. I switched out Beast Talk for Ascendant Step,
what does that
which
do?
allows me to cast Levitate on myself at will, without expending a spell slot.
We know that is useful.
Yes,
There
And,
used to be a sorcerer that showed us how useful that is.
I can only cast it on myself, but I have plans for that. Awesome cinematic plans, and I have gotten rid of one of my spells. I've gotten rid of Contact Other Plane, and I have chose Seeming.
Ooh.
And
does that do?
it allows me to turn anybody allows me to change the appearance of any number of creatures that are willing within 30 feet of me that I can see into anything I want.
Seems good.
It's going to be great for a stealth mission.
Damn it, Jackson.
You don't tell me you fucking did it too.
Amazing.
I
Alright,
mean,
quick, you can change it real quick because you're not there yet. So, in addition to that, I get 2 more spells. I have Burning Hands, and I have chosen Enlarge and Reduce for my second level. Well,
Good. I'm ready for the enlarge reduce shenanigans.
hmm and all that. And who is after me? It is Will. Shit. Okay, so quick about it, motherfucker.
It is Farron's turn.
Yeah, hold on, wait. It's not his turn yet because I have to roll for hit dice.
Oh, correct. True.
Okay, so let me roll the first one.
Those wonderful D6s.
That's right. Just give me a second. Rolling it now.
Just remember that in this moment where Jackson is actually being nice to Will. Everybody remember this.
I know, right? It's
You know, just
strange.
there's the first one.
Okay,
Nice.
not bad.
Okay. And the second one is coming right.
Why are you taking so long?
What do you mean? Why am I taking so long? You're being suspicious.
You literally got average 2.
The funny part would have been if I just went on his character sheet and clicked it.
You dick, that would have been horrible. But yeah, so now I am at 72. In addition, I still have Grokken's Great Axe, which is really nice. It's a +1 weapon.
It is indeed.
Also, I would like to show you all what I've chosen as the picture for Enlarge and Reduce.
Okay.
Delightful.
Fair enough.
It is delightful.
I'm never going to enlarge anybody, so I hope you're ready for this. The dream of a giant Morella will be short-lived.
Quite.
And
to know.
Will, I've given you ample amount of time, so
You
hopefully
have, yeah.
There's really not that many spells. I mean, like, once we get into the higher levels, there's only a very select few that you even have option of.
Well,
so.
here's the thing with being a warlock, is that our 5th level spells aren't too great.
Hmm.
We have Dominate Person, and that's only because I'm a Fae dude.
Yeah.
We
No, it's okay.
yeah, it's not bad necessarily, but it's just I wish that we had a little bit more variety. Anyways, Will, you can go ahead.
Baron, it is your turn.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Have you gone back to Bard, or are you continuing down your roguish ways?
Yeah. So with Jericho being in the group, we've had a lot of competing about who's the best bard, and so he's been getting a lot of practicing, and so Farron is now a 10th level bard.
Nice.
What does that gain you?
So bardic inspirations are D10s, Song of Rests are better, and I get 5th level spells as well as magical secrets
What is
and
magical secrets do?
expertise.
Jade.
Magical secrets means that I can choose 2 spells of any class, and they are now my spells, which I have yet to decide those because, yeah,
You're a monkey.
I am.
I gave you so much time.
Well, no, I've chosen my original bard spells for just getting to 10th level.
Oh,
the
okay.
5th level spells.
Yeah, there's a lot more spells he has to look through for that.
Yeah, because that's any spell from any class that I can use.
Disintegrate.
So one of them is Hold Monster, which is really good.
Seems
And
useful.
another one, now that I'm an awesome Beast Rider, I've also got Awaken.
Ooh,
Ooh.
that should
Can
be
I
fun.
Can I
That
be
should be
perfectly
interesting.
honest here, Will? This could have been a whole lot more awkward because I was actually going to choose Hold Monster and replace one of my or replace Scrying with it.
God damn you.
No, I didn't, thank God, but I was literally I was thinking about it the entire I was like, should I do this? Should I?
So yeah, I can make any beast or plant get an intelligence score of 10, speak a language, and plants can also move and have limbs and roots. And they're charmed by me for a whole 30 days.
Seems really powerful.
So we are going to end storm the capital, is what you're saying.
Yes, that's
Can
exactly.
you do that? Can you do that like every single day? Could you build like an army of trees?
It does need 8 hours to cast, and it's very expensive to cast as well.
Yeah,
okay.
it actually has a monetary value on the casting, right?
Yeah.
Which, as remember, unless it says it's consumed, it's actually, you can just use it instantly.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that one
Thankfully.
is consumed. You just have to make up the funds to get it once,
Yeah.
or find them via lore reasons.
Yes.
Cool. And what about health for you? Are you taking averages?
I'm a pussy, so yes.
Okay, good.
I have been burnt too many times with poor health rolls, so I'm just going average.
Now's the time more
There
than
goes-
ever, Will.
There goes
You
the
gotta
Not
make up for
how
all
it
them bad
works.
rolls.
mark it down in your notebooks. Will was the one to cause the YouTube strike today. In case anyone was curious.
What a
Yeah,
shame.
that's me.
Fantastic. Brian, hello.
Hello.
Let's talk about Kree and Noct because he matters.
Let's talk about Noct. So Noct gets attribute bonuses. Is he able to take a feat with that bonus?
No, he is not.
Okay, that's fine.
Tragic.
So Noct just got a lot more health. That's totally fine. Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. Kree, on the other hand, after going through all this fighting and warfare constantly, he's finally realized just how much of a tough bastard he is. So he now has the tough feat, which is fantastic. And aside from that, him and Noct are now much stronger together. And if someone surrounds them, they're all going to be hit. And it's fantastic. That's pretty much it. I just got to roll for health now. Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Didn't you
Fantastic.
already
And
do
then-
that?
Holy
Yeah.
bloody.
This is exactly what he did when he was creating this character,
It is.
in which he just rolls ridiculous health totals.
Still got
So,
more
how
health.
about that high health?
I got resistance. I got resistance. It's great.
Rage
Yeah,
makes up
resistance.
for the distance. Or
Yep.
the difference.
You have resistance against weapons, not spells.
Chris got spells. Yeah, that's a thing.
I was talking about your comment about bringing me down.
Oh, well, yeah, I can still do that.
Sure, you could try, bitch.
I mean, it wouldn't be hard. But
It's
anyways,
very hard.
Anyway.
Now I can literally get away from you.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Congratulations, Kree.
Thank you.
indeed.
And we'll see if you survived with all that extra health you just gained.
That's like,
Megan,
what,
let's talk
yeah.
about Aelin. What did Aelin get?
Aelin, in all her glory, has achieved level 12 cleric.
Woo!
Yay!
Praise.
Basically. Which means I get access to a 6th level spell,
Jesus.
which is pretty freaking sick. And although there are many options, obviously the one that Aelin is going to pick and use is heal, because obviously.
It is reliable.
I'm
I'm just saying, forbiddance.
I mean,
I'm jealous.
so-
There's
Swap
no
data
there's
there.
no salt in there. It's just
no envy. And now I can destroy undead with a CR of 2, which might come in handy.
maybe possibly in the undead infested city.
Possibly. And what else? I think that's pretty much it for me. I am gonna roll health because average. And I think that's it really.
Okay, fantastic. So not as exciting perhaps as some, but 6th level spells are pretty dope and amazing.
We are
Oh, yeah.
breaching the
Hey,
territory
there you
of
go. Not
gods.
bad. Little. No, dead average. Okay, good.
Sorry to barge in.
Yeah.
I forgot. I also got another 3rd level spell slot. Woo!
Hooray!
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I forgot to also mention, in terms of spell slots, I now have 2 2nd level and 4 1st level.
Cool.
All the spells.
Plus all of your warlock spells.
Yes. What I should rephrase that. Spell slots.
Yeah. Cool. Anything else, Megan?
Nope.
Fantastic. Jericho. Let's talk about Jericho.
Let's. So Jericho picked up, first of all, 6th level spells. He grabbed guards and wards, which is only good if we can actually prepare a battlefield in advance, but we are in a city, so I'm hoping that we'll have a chance to do that. If we do, it is just going to ruin any incoming attackers, so that's going to be pretty sweet. In addition, I swapped around a couple of earlier spells, and I took the mobile feat, which is going to make some tremendous value with Booming Blade. So Jericho has just become the drive-by stabber. It's going to be great.
Good. I can't wait for that day.
Same.
Anything
And
else?
yeah, he took average health.
Average health. Okay. The bards of the party playing it safe.
Look, Jericho hasn't gotten this far by taking unnecessary risks.
You know, this is a fair point. Jericho's a very
He
calculated
has
individual.
other people do that.
Right, yeah. You're very calculated individual. Everything falls into place for you.
Let's be honest though, Jordan. Kree's rolls are pretty safe.
Yeah, I think you could roll ones for the rest of the 8 levels that exist in the game and still be above average.
Yeah.
So I think you're fine. Okay, fantastic. So when we last left off in Middenheim, we had gone through some interesting trials and tribulations. I think would be the best way to describe it. There was some more story elements revealed with the with Cahill and also with this new cult that follows Aelin around. Also with you had like a council meeting and been able to convince like Cahill to move forward on the next objective, which is Ulrich's Temple. Ulrich's Temple is kind of the next big objective that you all are headed towards. There were some scouting missions done in which you were able to encounter the fact that there are these there's this new type of undead that's kind of surfaced, and the Silni, it is, wow, I'm impressed with myself actually. Silni actually told you all that they are called hunters. And generally they're only like created by very powerful necromancers using like very intricate rituals to do. But they hold power kind of above and beyond that of a typical like undead character. Obviously, just due to the way action economy works, swarming up on these things is still going to be very effective. But you never know what kind of tricks and rule breaking things they can do, perhaps via this magical ritual thing. So you guys had also scouted the fact that there appeared to be multiple entrances to the church that were all being guarded by like a single individual. There were a couple of people who looked like either wizards or witches or sorcerers or something. There were a couple people who looked like big brawly fighting types, and then there was a couple of these hunters kind of sporadically placed around the building. So the plan, as it was laid out at the very end, was the fact that there was going to be a crew that kind of charged headlong and fought the bulk of the resistance, while a smaller crew, led, or I should say, picked out by Hannibal, were going to kind of lead a stealth mission, as it were, to the back of the church, so you could infiltrate in. I think there was some talk about stealing whatever this weird book is that you also gained some data on. It appears relatively untouched by the destruction from the giant undead dragon that's appeared in the sky that one night. So there was that. There was also some reclamation of some forces between the Bear Riders and the Lizardmen, who had taken heavy casualties. The Lizardmen are still kind of licking their wounds. They're reduced to about half strength. The Bear Riders are at about 75% strength, so they're pretty much in fighting condition, as it were. And then, last but certainly not least, there was Kree off doing his own thing again, in which he had witnessed the large armored individual by the name of Akold Hellbrass. And you guys know that name because he announced himself boisterously the last time you fought. But he appears to be kind of like mortally injured, as well as his mount also appears to be mortally injured. By what? Who knows? But after they returned and kind of collapsed in a portion of the city, kind of unknowingly into the thick of things, because they weren't expecting the city to be kind of being overrun at this point. It's clear that they were away at the time. So they were encountered, a lot of people who had like come up to a lot of the Norsemen and stuff that had come up to Akold to like assist him. Kree had been leading a troop over to the West Gate to kind of secure it, and had diverted the path. It was mostly a lot of leftovers from the two different cavalry units that were in existence. And so there's kind of this like nighttime skirmish engagement going on, in which the final scene of the last session was we saw Kree and Noct kind of like squaring off against these injured combatants on the field, ready to take them mono lizardo. No one. Okay, good to know. Good to know I'm off point today. Appreciate
You
that,
are.
guys. Thanks.
I thought it was the kinder thing to pretend you hadn't said it.
You know, it's fine. It's totally okay. I'm used to it.
I'm going to hold you to a higher standard.
I know. I apologize. I apologize profusely to everyone who had to endure listening to that. I'll do better in the future.
I mean, it's better than Jackson, so.
Are you gonna pay for my medical bills because my ears are bleeding?
You know what? I will.
I
will send you a bunch of Monopoly money, which is almost as valuable as real money these days.
Okay.
Honestly, I thought when you said medical beers, you meant it.
See, that one got people. So thank you for the economy joke of all things. The economy joke plays, but not the cheesy, somewhat related joke. I see. Okay, I see the crowd I'm working with tonight. So, does anyone think I missed anything vitally important in all of that?
No.
Okay, fantastic. So from what I understood, you guys were kind of attempting to go in, like in the morn when everybody had rested from the initial onslaught of the fight.
Right now, I'm on a recruiting mission.
Yeah, which wasn't really like you guys are going to get your long rest, quote unquote, but it's probably not even really 8 hours. By the time all of the fighting and collecting and finishing is done, there's probably like only a couple hours till dawn. So Jericho, I know that you had been pushing to like, no, we need to go now. Like, we need to keep momentum up. To be fair, you're still very much on the momentum train by the time it comes time to march through the city some more. It's simply a matter of the logistical organizing units and figuring out what's going to go and who's going to happen. And, on top of this plan that you have, there's probably 30 other missions going on to take other parts of the city and, different units doing different things. So this is obviously purely for the mission that you are embarking upon. But Hannibal, I know that you mentioned both now and before that you wanted to go recruit people for this mission. I think you had already kind of acquired Farron and Morella, I believe.
I think Morella was going to go with Anders to lead the charge.
Cahill, right? Yeah. I think that's true. I think you're right on that.
Right? Yeah, Cahill. I don't know why I keep thinking.
I mean, if you
I
want
turned you down, that's what it was.
If you want to join Anders, I can arrange that. You just let me know. Just send me a quick message. There's certainly some things we can work in to that.
No.
Done.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking. I'm just making sure that's not what you want to do.
I mean, no.
Okay. Good.
I don't know why. I think it's because I think of fucking Anders from fucking Dragon Age, that he's a good guy, and I'm just like, yeah, it's Anders, and I'm like, wait, no,
I mean,
that's
I
not.
disagree, but
But
okay.
I mean, yeah, I don't know if good guy is.
I'm thinking more like Awakening Anders, not 2.
I
Anders.
still don't think good guy is where we're going here.
Sir
Better
Pelsalot,
guy?
though.
Yeah, he's not like outright evil at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just jolly.
He's not a pox upon society at that point.
Mhm.
But anyways, aside from the point. Yes, Cahill. I think
Okay.
she decided to go
Cool.
help with him.
Yeah,
almost.
help the main forces.
Yeah.
Charge whatever kind of element of encounter you're going to experience up there. Okay, cool.
I was just going to try to recruit. There are 3 particular. John's coming with me.
Shots.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Jordan, did you?
I haven't made a sheet, but I know what his statistics are, so I can run them, no problem.
Okay. So I want Daniela. I'm going to try to recruit the Bride of the Wizard.
Okay.
Aaron, and basically, I want to gather a collection of a specific amount of people. I want to get 60 people together because you said that's how many I could get. And I want to point out that maybe I could get more because the spell specifically says who I can see. So
I think in that case you would probably get less.
No, here's why. I can have Dane get an aerial view.
But it's still limited by range, Jackson.
No, range to me, but my senses. But it says that I can only see. But if I switch my senses with Dane, even though they'll be within 30 feet of me, I'll be able to see them as well.
The way the spell works is how many people can you cram into 30 feet?
But with that, I could cram them into a 30 feet circle around me. Because I could.
So a mosh pit is what you said.
You're probably allowed to just spin around in a circle while casting.
All right, Jordan, can I? Because if not, I could just use Dane I could swap senses with Dane.
Yes. Turning is a free action.
Okay. So yes, so I'm going to try to get 60 together. It's going to be a composition of a very small amount of heavy hitters, like tanky kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Mainly focusing on more rogues and ranger types with 1 or 2. I'm going to try to recruit the spellcaster specially.
Okay.
I feel this is just a mission for Hannibal to take all the B-list characters and see
Kill
if
them
they
all.
all die.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to get Daniela, and I imagine the rest I could just grab.
I'm taking the spear.
Yeah, Daniela would do whatever Aelin is doing. I don't know if Aelin is sticking to Cahill's side for this, or if she is, not going to be involved in any way. I don't know. That's up to Megan to decide.
I'll talk to Aelin about it then.
Okay. Yeah,
They're
you
gonna
probably
wanna
find
do it.
Aelin pretty close to Cahill. This last scene that we had seen them together, they were at like in the morning at the table, right? Where they were all kind of treating her more like royalty now, and it was a bit uncomfortable for her, perhaps. With the exception of a couple of distinct individuals, right? There were a couple there that did not quite give her that honor yet. But that being said, you probably find her there, or maybe she's at the hospital. I don't know. It's up to Megan to decide.
Okay, so first off, I'm going to try to get Daniela. So,
Yes.
Aelin, where you at? I'm going to look for Aelin.
I would be with Cahill, so I would imagine Daniela wouldn't be that far behind.
Okay. So, what kind of scene do I walk in on?
Cahill is probably ordering people around, and Aelin is quietly standing next to him while he does so.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Aelin, may I speak with you?
Oh, yes, Hannibal, of course. Is something wrong?
Well, there's something. Oh, hold on a second.
I feel like that's in character. Like, I feel like
Yeah, Dane just got it.
I feel like Hannibal's like, oh, I'm sorry. Actually, hold on. I have to do this other thing real quick. And Aelin's just like politely waiting there.
All right, yes.
So accurate.
Aelin starts
I'm
to like
back.
lightly hum.
Sure. So, I know that you probably heard of the mission that are going on, and I'd
Yeah.
like to request for Daniela to come along.
Well, Daniela is her own person. If she would like to go, you should ask her.
All right, I turn 2 feet. Daniela, will you come?
Turn about face.
It's gonna cost an action. 2 feet is above
Yes.
the limit. Yeah, can't turn that far without. No, yeah,
Spending was free.
Daniela is probably like not like right next, but probably in like the room somewhere, perhaps issuing her own orders. She's probably got a couple of those individuals who are like wanting to train as paladins. She's got them bedecked in at least something reasonable now. They're probably all wearing like chainmail, at the very least. And she's had time to rest now, which she didn't like just previously to this. And so her armor is probably clean, and she doesn't look disheveled and quite regal sitting there, ordering these people about.
Okay. So I approach her.
Yeah, and she notices you and she says, "Oh, Hannibal, it's good to see you. What I owe the pleasure."
Well, it's not going to be much of one, but I'd like to request, if you would, to come with me on a specific mission. We're going into some dangerous territory, and I'd be much assured with a healer by our side.
Well, I am no healer, but
You're definitely a better healer than anybody that I'm planning on taking along.
well, I thank you for your compliment. I have a lot of responsibilities here, but perhaps some more details on the mission.
Very well. We
Oh,
will be. I gonna info dump it, and I'd say we're going to be facing possibly many undead enemies, and there's not going to be. We're not going to have a lot of help from reinforcements or anything, because we're going in from the back, which is, like I said, why I feel a lot better with a paladin or basically anybody with holy magic.
Yeah, I think
As,
she kind of like puts her fingers on her chin, and rubs her chin, and she's like, "Yes, I think that is a reasonable request. I will see to about setting a second in command here and join you whenever you wish to travel."
Very well. We set out next morning.
It's technically like the morning now, so like in a few hours.
Okay, we set out in a few hours. I'll send somebody to fetch you. And now I'm going to have a heart-to-heart with John.
Okay. So you go find John wherever he might be, probably, washing your clothes or something.
John,
Yes. Hannibal, what is going on? What is wrong? Is something wrong?
sit down.
He looks
There's
around.
not a chair
What?
Sit down.
Okay, yeah. So he like sits and looks expectant.
I've decided that you're ready. You'll be going with me on a mission.
Yeah. So I think that he like nods and he's like, "Oh, it should be wonderful. What will I be doing on this mission? Carrying your bags or your notes?"
We will be sneaking into an enemy fortress.
Oh. Well, perhaps there is someone better than I that you
Nope.
could bring along.
Listen, I sit down. I'm training you, John. You are going to be my protege.
Oh. That is nice of you to say.
And to do that, you need to be exposed to danger. Nobody learns anything from a book. They learn it out there in the field.
That is categorically untrue, but I understand the sentiment behind it.
Who's the one that... Anyways,
Did you not
So-
complete a quest one time in order to only look at books?
John, I feel you're ready.
Well, it is nice to have some sort of... that you have such confidence in me. I will do my very best.
That you will. And then I pat him on the shoulder. We leave in a couple hours. Say goodbye. You know what? Never mind. Don't say goodbye to anybody. You'll be fine.
I think John begins like nodding, but like he's staring off in the distance, a little bit zoned out, trying to forget what you just said
You'll do great.
as you walk away.
Yep. And then as I think to myself, that little boy's going to die today. Now I find the Bright Order Wizard. What's his name again?
God, I bet I wrote this down somewhere, but it's so far like gone at this
I think
point.
it was like David or something.
I think it was
something.
I think it was something. Yeah, it was something. I think you're right.
I think it was like it was Daw something.
Yeah, let's call him Darren. That sounds fine.
Fucking yeah. I say Darren. He's like, that's not my name.
That's not my name. Oh no,
So-
Robert is his name. Robert Hunter.
Oh,
Holy
Robert
shit! I wrote the shit out of that down. Look at that. Okay, yeah. Robert Hunter is his name.
Okay,
Also,
so
John's last name is Spring, in case you care.
He does not.
he has a last name.
He does.
I just assumed I named him John.
Well, I can't confirm or deny that.
He's
He-
literally just written down in my. He's written down in my inventory.
You can't own things, Hannibal. We've talked about this.
He's literally. I'm not shitting you. He's written down in my inventory as just John. So yeah, I approach Robert. Where is he?
Robert is probably working.
Are you sure you don't want to rename him?
No, that's
Sure.
actually his name, Robert Hunter.
Yeah, no, I'm asking.
Okay.
When
He's
I get the paperwork done, I will.
probably working tirelessly with a bunch of other, because he's kind of like the only Bright Order mage representative here. So he's probably like convening with a lot of different orders, trying to, draw battle lines and figure out what's going on. As a member of the Bright Order, he is kind of responsible for a lot of the like combat scenarios as well that the spellcasters are involved in at the very least, because they're kind of one of the more militant orders of.
Can you
mages.
remind me again what the Bright Order like values?
Yeah, so the Bright Order specifically, note here, which hilariously it's in locations under Altdorf for whatever reason, because that's just where the orders are residing. So the Bright Order specifically is they're the Order of Fire. So a lot of that kind of gets tied into the inevitable control of something so chaotic, right? a lot of they're pyromancers, I would say, mostly. Use a lot of fire in a lot of their spells, study and specialize in it. Some get to like levels of controlling fire, right, where like using fire within the environment to do the things that they need. And probably like the more advanced Bright Order wizards or mages or whatever probably get to the level of like, you know, never-ending fire, eternal flame kind of thing. One thing to note is they're not necessarily like cleanse and make everything pure though. It's more like the chaotic nature of fire, and I think that with most of the orders of magic, they kind of, their personalities are kind of what they're most in tune with, right? So in your experiences with Robert over the past couple of months, there's a definite like hot streak there, where he can become very hot-headed and very uncontrolled, like kind of unrefined, but also can do things precisely, you know, because fire takes many forms. The form of forest fire is different from the form of a welding torch. So
Okay, and just in terms of, how does he feel about his guild? Like, was he like die hard, I'll do anything for it, or is he more?
Yeah, I mean, he joined the Bright Order willingly, the Bright Order willingly. Like he respects the beliefs of the Bright Order.
Did he seem to join out of a respect for it, or more of a use of its resources?
No, definitely a respect for it. He definitely has the skills that they desire, in addition to the fact that he kind of falls in line with their beliefs as well.
Okay. So what is he doing when I approach?
Yeah, so he's probably got like a bunch of missives and probably a couple of couriers around, like waiting for him to finish writing some things and send them with him. So there's probably like, 2 or 3 little boys and little girls that are sitting kind of sitting on little stools next to his desk. And he's like furiously like kind of scribbling notes. And probably as you roll up, he like flicks a little flame on the tip of his finger and melts some wax and puts a Bright Order stamp on it. And hands it to a courier, and the little girl goes running off in the distance to deliver the message.
Busy as ever, I see. Oh,
yes.
sorry. You
were... No. He was going to look up at you, so you talked, so it works out perfectly. He looks up at you and he says, "Yes, as always. What can I do for you?" And the whole time he's just like scribbling on his scroll.
I want to talk to you about a certain mission that'll be going down in a couple hours. And
yes,
so
I heard. The one going into the church infiltration. Yes,
that's correct. I would like you to be one of the leaders.
Yeah, and I think for like the first moment, like his pen stops, or his quill stops, and he kind of looks up and he says, "Why?"
Because we have desperate need for spellcasters, and also where we're going is going to be filled with all sorts of magics. But I suppose the biggest reason is I see in you a spark.
I think his eyebrow raises, like waiting for you to continue.
A flame of passion. You shouldn't be sitting here right now when a war is going on. You should be out there fighting.
Yeah. I like it. So
don't be the lantern. Be the fire that burns your enemies.
Yeah, I think that he sets his quill down and you've gotten his attention. But I am going to need a persuade roll from you.
Okay.
Your well-crafted speech though is going to give you a couple bonuses here. So go ahead and roll it.
For persuasion?
Persuasion, yeah. This is definitely a persuasion.
Fuck me.
So I think he nods and he says, I know that you are right, Hannibal. Trust me, I know, but unfortunately my place is here, but do not be disheartened. I know another that would probably join you. It can be of much use to you. He's just out of apprenticeship. not Bright Order, but of, well, someone perhaps even more useful. Celestial Order apprentice that I've been corresponding with here in the encampment.
Could you tell me a little bit more about them? What's their name?
His name is Rhodagan.
Rodigan. Okay. Gonna write that down in my inventory.
While he has not given me his surname, he has expressed a desire to do more. From what I know, he is quite skilled.
It's good. Okay. Do you know anything about his skill set?
Being from the Celestial Order, it falls under one of the major deities. He comes from the far west, along the coast, just outside of Marienburg.
See. I thank you.
I believe, in our speakings, I've been able to narrow it down. I believe he is a, well, if not worshipper, then at least a follower of Manan.
Can I make a check on Manan?
Sure. You want to roll a religion check?
Okay. Oh, fucking great of these.
Brian.
How can I have rolled that?
17's pretty good. So yeah, you know Manan is the god of the seas, right? And you know that generally is worshipped by people who rely on trade a lot. Not like pirates, but like merchants that live on the coast probably say a prayer to Manan when they go out on an excursion. You know, they pray for fair waters and good winds or whatever. Generally seen as is also kind of a bit of a chaotic deity, probably chaotic neutral, right? In line with the way that the storms and the seas act, right? Storms are unpredictable as well as the waves, and it's survival of the fittest almost. Which is kind of the personality that most of their followers take on as well. It's not that they don't have mercy, it's just that their mercy comes from like their mercy is get better so this doesn't happen to you next time, as opposed to, oh, here let me guide you down a path.
So it's more like
yeah, they would instead of killing an enemy, they would leave them wounded to see if they survive to become stronger, right?
And also their form of training wouldn't exactly be formal of you, more like, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you, try to stop it.
Right, yeah. They're definitely, as I just described, the Bright Order wizards are kind of that chaotic. Any follower of Manan is somewhat similar, for sure.
Okay. So they do DBC style training. Alright.
Sure.
So yeah, so I say, where can I find him?
He should be, I believe he's taken up residence in the north side of the district, close to the merchant district. You can find him there.
Very well. As I'm heading out, I turn and say, if you ever feel your spark turn into a flame, we leave in a couple hours. And then before he can say anything, I head out.
Yeah, I think like maybe under his breath he says, see that yours is not extinguished, Hannibal. And like goes back to scribbling on the letters that he's sending.
Man, I met 2 people that liked me in under an hour. This is a record.
It is pretty much a record. So with that being done, you continue your recruitment. And we'll get to you're able to recruit this Celestial Order.
What's his personality?
Individual. He seems like an eager teenager almost. But you recognize almost right away that he does not appear to be a traditional like spellcaster.
Did I make a roll?
So immediately when you find him, he's wearing kind of these plain clothes that are kind of a seafoam green color. He's got like kind of a thick rope sash. He's wearing like a headband that has a symbol on it. You would recognize it as the symbol of like a merchant family in Marienburg. And he the other distinctive part about him is his hands and forearms are wrapped with like this bandage cloth very tightly.
He's a fucking monk.
Yeah, if you know what that was, that would be what you would see as this individual.
Beautiful.
So I hear you're the wizard. We won't go through this.
Yeah. But essentially, he seems eager to be recruited by you and go on your mission.
I see the spark of storms within you.